Saturday, Bariatric Mindset Mavens. Kristen Lloyd here. Wanted to pop in. Hope you guys are having a crazy awesome Saturday. I'm in my office seeing clients this morning, which is fun for me, which I love. I'm actually taking a little break before my next person comes in. Woohoo! I wanted to pop in because I have today labeled as Self-Care Saturday. And I wanted to talk about how self-care is sometimes saying no. So how is that self-care? So one of the things I've noticed in working with a lot of peeps who are post-bariatric, heading into bariatrics, is actually that people say yes a lot. People pleasers. Like, yes, sure, I'll do that for you. Yes, I'll help you. Absolutely. And sometimes saying no to things that you don't want to do. Sometimes saying no to other people's requests. Sometimes saying no to things that put you in a really uncomfortable situation or that compromise your own values, or things that you need to do. That's part of self-care. So a lot of the things that I know, the things that I typically think are self-care, are like going and getting a massage, or eating really yummy, healthy food, or getting enough sleep. These are things that we typically do talk about as self-care. Manicures and pedicures. Doing things for yourself like that. Exercising, that's self-care. But other things that are also self-care are setting really good boundaries. Saying no to toxic relationships, to people in your life who criticize you, who make comments. One of the things that one of my clients was really struggling with was a family member after surgery. Can you eat that? Are you sure you can eat that? And they mean well, but sometimes it's you setting boundaries to say, listen, I know what I can eat and what I can't eat. And I know that you mean well. But I need you to give me a little personal space. But also saying no to the people who are constantly needing things from you. And because you have a big heart, a lot of the bariatric people that I meet who have had surgery, we used to have big bodies, but our hearts are still big. And what does that mean? So with the carrying of a lot of extra weight, a lot of people tend to be people pleasers to kind of make up for what they think is not socially acceptable. And what's really important is that we start to set healthier boundaries around who we are, what we want, what we don't want, who we want to be around, who we don't want to be around. And again, letting go of those toxic relationships. You've got to kind of do that in your own time. I'm not saying, cut ties. What I am saying is that you've got to listen to yourself and look at situations in your life and be more aware and practice awareness. Hey, Felicia! And practice more awareness of what you're saying yes to versus what you're saying no to in your life. So sometimes saying no to people is an act of self-care, because it's not something you need to do, it's not something you should do, etc. Another good example of this is one of my clients who was spending time with family who is a really bad food influence. So sometimes if you know that someone's a really bad food influence, sometimes if you know somebody who's a really bad food influence, that you might say, hey, let's go hang out, but we're not going to have a meal together. Especially if you know that they're ordering double rolls, or, let's have chips and dip and all this other stuff. Sometimes it's not a good idea to just go and have a meal with them, because you know that that could be sabotaging your success. Can you still have a relationship with them? Absolutely. But you don't want their bad habits to impact your bad habits. So sometimes setting healthier boundaries around that is important. And the thing that I've learned since surgery, no is a complete sentence. I used to say yes to everyone, try to do things for everyone, compromise my own boundaries for other people, and just let other people, tell me what they needed, because I wanted to be there for them, because I had to overcompensate. And I know other people who do this too. Like, you want to be loved, you want to be needed, and all of those things, but you've got to put you first, right? Surgery was just one step. And the reason you gained the weight is not just because of the food, it's because of the emotional stuff. It's because of the emotional stuff. But if we never deal with the emotional stuff, the weight loss in and of itself is not going to be permanent, because eating for a lot of people is a very emotional thing. Bored. I mean, there's so many different components. I'm not saying that this is the one way for everyone. I'm saying to practice awareness around, again, self-care, what you need, what makes you feel uncomfortable. And if somebody's saying, hey, I really need this from you, and you're not feeling a good vibe from it, or you feel you shouldn't do it, or it's just not for you, say no. And don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid that that person's not going to like you, or they're not going to ask you next time, or you feel bad because you're not there for them. Saying no sometimes is an act of self-care, because that's what you need to do for you at that moment, because that's what's important for you and your health, your emotional health, your growth, etc., etc. So I hope that resonates. I'm trying to keep it specific, but also be general, because I know that it's going to be different for different people in different situations. So if it's that person who you know is a bad influence, you could still be friends with them. You could still have a relationship with them, but you've got to also maybe monitor how that relationship is. Instead of it being on their terms, make it on your terms, because that's, again, that's part of this growth after surgery, is to put yourself first, set better boundaries, ask for what you need, and take a stand for you. So that's my little spiel on self-care today. Sometimes saying no is what you got to do. Be conscious of what you're saying yes to. Be conscious of who you're surrounding yourself with. And I know my client's going to get here in a couple minutes, but I just wanted to pop in here. And if you have any comments, leave them in the comments below. But I hope this served you well. Sending blessings, love, and light. And I hope that you guys have an amazing weekend. And let me know what you guys are doing this weekend, all right? So happy Self-Care Saturday. And if you do go get a massage or a pedicure or whatever, awesome, fantastic. Take a nap. All right, everybody, have a great weekend, and talk to you soon. Bye.